Level 1. The department that doesn't exist. Most CIA agents work in intelligence. Some run surveillance. Some operate overseas. But your division doesn't appear on any org chart. No official badge. No public record. Even other agents inside Langley don't know you exist. Your office is 3 floors underground, behind 2 security checkpoints. Inside a windowless room full of servers. There are only 6 people in your unit. 3 analysts, 2 system engineers, and you. Your role is simple. When someone becomes too dangerous to prosecute, too sensitive to imprison, or too embarrassing for the government to acknowledge, they send the file to you. Your job is to remove that person from every system on Earth. Government databases, financial networks, travel records, medical histories, you delete it all. The process is terrifyingly efficient. The modern world runs on data. Remove the data, and the person disappears with it. Their bank account stops working. Their passport becomes invalid. Their social security number vanishes. To every system they encounter, they no longer exist. And after a few weeks, even the people around them begin doubting their memory, because proving someone existed is harder than you think. Level 2. The first erasure. Your first assignment happened 2 years ago. You remember it clearly. The target was a foreign intelligence officer. He had defected, then disappeared, then started leaking information online. Nothing explosive, but enough to cause problems. The official instruction came through a secure channel. Administrative removal authorized. You remember sitting in this same chair, hands hovering over the keyboard, your supervisor standing behind you. Think of it as cleaning up the database, he said. You began with the basics. Government identity systems, birth records, immigration logs. The man had entered the United States 6 years earlier. After 5 minutes of work, there was no proof he had ever crossed the border. Next came financial systems, bank accounts, credit history, investment records. Those took longer, about 20 minutes. Then travel history, airline manifests, hotel bookings, car rentals, every record wiped. Finally, social media. Your software crawled the internet automatically, deleting every photo, every post, every trace. The entire process took less than 2 hours. When you finished, your supervisor nodded once. Congratulations, he said. That man no longer exists. At the time, it felt like a technical challenge, just another system problem to solve. But the next morning, you learned something strange, because the man's wife showed up at the embassy, looking for him. And according to every system on Earth, she had never been married. Level 3. The system. The erasure program is built on one terrifying truth. Modern life is fragile. People believe their identity is permanent, but it's not. It's just data, databases, servers, records. Your system connects to hundreds of networks simultaneously. Government registries, financial clearinghouses, airline databases, medical archives. When you initiate an erasure, all of them update at once. A cascading deletion. Within minutes, the world reorganizes itself. Banks refuse transactions. Airports deny boarding. Hospitals reject insurance. Even police databases return nothing. Name not found. Record not found. Identity invalid. The person still exists physically. They can still breathe, still walk, still speak, but legally, they are nobody. No documents, no money, no history, and surviving without those things in the modern world is almost impossible. Most erased individuals disappear within months. Some try to rebuild their identity. Few succeed. But your system was never supposed to be used often, only for extreme national security threats. At least that's what they told you, until the night curiosity got the better of you. Level 4. The mistake. It happens during a routine maintenance check. You're reviewing server logs, verifying recent erasure records. Everything looks normal. Then you notice something odd. A directory you've never seen before, hidden inside the system architecture, encrypted, access level restricted. You hover the cursor over it. The file name reads, Archive, Intentional. You shouldn't open it. Your clearance doesn't allow it. But curiosity is dangerous in rooms like this. And you've always been curious. You bypass the security lock just to look. Inside the archive are dozens of files, all labeled the same way, erased. You open the first one. A journalist, American citizen, age 37. Cause of erasure, information risk. You open another. A scientist, research field, satellite imaging. Cause of erasure, information risk. Another file, a senator's aide. Cause of erasure, information risk. Your stomach tightens. These aren't foreign spies, or terrorists, or criminals. These are people who asked the wrong questions, people who discovered things they shouldn't have. And suddenly the system you operate every day doesn't feel like a security tool anymore. It feels like something else, something darker. You scroll through the archive slowly, hundreds of erased individuals, over 20 years, all classified the same way. Information risk. Your hands pause on the keyboard because a new entry appears at the bottom of the list, a file that wasn't there before, created just seconds ago. You open it, and for a moment you think the system is glitching because the name in the file is familiar, too familiar. The target photo loads slowly, then stops, and staring back at you from the screen is your own face. Level 5, the investigation. For a few seconds you just stare at the screen, your own face, your own personnel file. Your own name listed under the same classification used for everyone else in the archive. Information risk your heart beats slower, not faster. Shock does that sometimes. You scroll down carefully. The file is incomplete. Some sections are blank, others contain system placeholders. It looks like the erasure process has already begun, but hasn't finished. You check the timestamp. The order was issued 6 minutes ago. Your mind begins working automatically. Step 1 of erasure is always identity isolation. Step 2 removes financial systems. Step 3 wipes official documentation. Step 4 removes personal archives. You know the process because you designed parts of it, which means you also know something else. If the order was issued 6 minutes ago, the next phase should begin very soon. You open the system logs, and there it is. A new task queue entry. Eraser, sequence, initiated target. You. Level 6. The first signs. You don't panic. Panic wastes time. Instead, you start checking the outside systems. First, financial. You log into your bank account. The login fails. You try again. Invalid credentials. You open the internal financial registry your team uses. Your account number is gone. Not frozen, not suspended, deleted. Next, you check your government credentials, your security clearance profile. The system pauses for a moment, then returns a message. User not found. Your chest tightens slightly. That shouldn't happen yet. The clearance system is usually the last stage of erasure, which means whoever ordered this is moving faster than normal protocol. You stand up from your chair. The server room hums quietly around you. Thousands of drives spinning. Thousands of identities stored inside them, most erased, some waiting. And now, one of them is yours. You sit down again and check the next system. Travel records. Your passport database entry still exists, for now. But when the system refreshes, it disappears. Your passport number becomes invalid. Your travel history collapses. The system shows no record of you ever leaving the country, or entering it, or even being issued a passport. You exhale slowly. Phase 2 complete, which means Phase 3 is next. And Phase 3 is the most dangerous, because it deletes the core identity registry. The moment that happens, you stop existing to every government agency, police, hospitals, airports, courts, all of them. Level 7, who ordered it? You scroll back to the authorization line. Erasure orders require a director-level signature, someone high enough to approve identity deletion. You expect to see the Director of National Intelligence, or maybe CIA leadership. Instead, you see a code you don't recognize, a 3-letter authorization prefix.
CLS. You search the internal database. No result. You check intelligence authorization codes. Still nothing. You run a deeper query through the classified clearance system. The answer finally appears.
CLS, Clean Slate Authority. Your stomach tightens. You've never heard of it before, which is strange, because nothing above the CIA should exist without you knowing. But the documentation is clear. Clean Slate sits above multiple intelligence agencies, a coordination office, no public records, no official oversight, and one authority above everything else. Administrative erasure oversight. Your program doesn't report to the CIA, it reports to them, which means the erasure program was never really yours. You were just operating it. Someone else has been controlling it the entire time. And now, they've decided to remove you from the system. Level 8, the countdown. Your screen flashes. A new message appears. Erasure process. Stage 4, your personal records database opens automatically. Birth certificate, education, history, medical files, all queued for deletion. You check the timer. 2 minutes. Once Stage 4 finishes, there will be no official proof you were ever born. You try stopping the process. Access denied. You try overriding the system. Access denied. Of course, the system was designed to prevent exactly this situation. You built the safeguards yourself. Your reflection stares back at you in the dark screen of a nearby monitor. For years you believed you were protecting national security, removing dangerous individuals, people who threaten stability. Now you know the truth. The system removes anyone who learns too much, and now that includes you. The server clock ticks quietly. 1 minute 30 seconds. You open the archive again, scrolling through the erased files. Journalists, scientists, analysts, whistleblowers, every person in that list discovered something and then vanished. Your file sits at the bottom, still incomplete, but almost finished. 1 minute remaining. Level 9, the hidden layer. Then you notice something strange. The erasure program isn't running locally. It's being executed from a remote control server, an external command node, which means the process isn't automated. Someone is watching it happen. Someone is triggering each phase manually. You trace the connection path. It runs through 3 encrypted intelligence networks, then disappears into a classified routing node. But before the trace collapses, you catch a glimpse of the origin server, location tag, unknown Dane, which shouldn't be possible. Every government system has a registered location. Every classified network has a region identifier. This one doesn't, which means it might not belong to the government at all. The timer hits 30 seconds. Your identity records begin deleting one by one. Birth registry removed, education archive removed, medical file removed, your entire life dissolving line by line. Then the system pauses. A new message appears on screen, not automated. Typed manually, you access the archive, another line appears. Curiosity always exposes the wrong people. You stare at the blinking cursor. Then the final message appears. But we're impressed you figured it out. The countdown stops, and a new prompt appears. Erasure paused, followed by a single question. Do you want to know who really runs the program? Level 10, the question. The timer has stopped. For the first time since the erasure began, the system isn't moving. Your identity still hangs in the balance. Half erased, half alive. Your bank accounts are gone. Your passport is invalid. Your clearance no longer exists. But the final stage, the one that deletes your birth record, has paused. On the screen, the message blinks again. Do you want to know who really runs the program? Your hands rest on the keyboard. You already know the answer. Of course you want to know. The real question is whether knowing will make things worse. Because every person in the archive asked questions too, and every one of them disappeared. Still, you type a single word? Yes. For several seconds, nothing happens. Then the screen changes. The erasure program interface closes. A new window opens. Black background. White text. Minimal. You've never seen this system before. At the top of the screen is a title. Project Clean Slate. Level 11. The truth behind the CIA. Lines of information begin appearing. Not like a report, more like a confession. The erasure program wasn't created by the CIA. It was created above it. During the early years of the internet, when governments realized something dangerous, information could no longer be controlled. Once something appeared online, it spread everywhere. Leaks, whistleblowers, journalists, secrets moving faster than governments could contain them. So they built a system, not to censor information. That would be too obvious. Instead, they would remove the people who discovered it, erase the source, and the story collapses with them. For 20 years, the system has been operating quietly. Every erased person connected to one rule. They uncovered something the public could never know. Satellite weapons programs, financial manipulation networks, unacknowledged military operations, and sometimes things even stranger. You scroll through the list slowly. Hundreds of classified incidents, all tied to erased individuals. The deeper you read, the more unsettling the pattern becomes. Because the CIA wasn't running the program, they were simply operating the tools. The real authority always belonged to something else, something called the oversight layer. Level 12, the oversight layer. A diagram appears on the screen. Government agencies, intelligence divisions, defense networks, all connected beneath one central structure. At the top sits a small node. No official name, no location, just a designation. Layer 0. The text explains it simply. Layer 0 monitors the entire intelligence community, not just the CIA, NSA, military intelligence, foreign surveillance systems, even allied agencies. Every classified program ultimately feeds data upward, and Layer 0 decides which secrets can exist and which ones must disappear. That's where the erasure orders come from. Not presidents, not directors, not governments. Something else.
Something older than most of the intelligence agencies themselves. You lean closer to the screen, because a new line appears. Your discovery triggered automatic review. Another line follows.
Your erasure was scheduled to protect operational secrecy. Then the cursor blinks again. Waiting. Level 13, the real test. Another message appears, but we stopped the process. You sit back slowly. Stopped. Which means your identity hasn't been fully deleted yet. Another line types itself. You asked questions most operators never ask. Another. You traced authorization codes faster than expected. Then the final line appears. That makes you valuable. Your pulse slows slightly. You understand what's happening now? The archive wasn't just a record of erased people. It was a filter, a test. Everyone who discovered the truth eventually faced the same decision. Disappear, or become part of the system that erases others. A new prompt appears on the screen. Layer 0 offers recruitment. Your breath catches slightly. You read the next line. Operators who discover the system are given one choice. Join the oversight layer, or complete the erasure process. The timer returns not 60 seconds, just 10. Level 14. The choice. 10 seconds. You stare at the blinking cursor. For years you believed your work protected national security. Now you know the truth. You are maintaining something far larger. A system designed to quietly shape the world by removing people who threatened it. Journalists, scientists, whistleblowers, people who uncovered secrets. And if you join, you become one of the people deciding who stays in history and who vanishes from it. The cursor waits patiently. 9 seconds. You look at the archive again. All the names, all the erased lives. 8 seconds. Your own file still sits at the bottom. Incomplete. 7 seconds. If you refuse, your identity disappears forever. No proof you existed, no record of your life. 6 seconds. But if you accept, you become something far worse. 5 seconds. The most powerful ghost in the world. 4 seconds. The keyboard waits. 3 seconds. You place your fingers on the keys. 2 seconds. The system waits. 1. You press a single key. The screen flashes once, then everything goes black. For a moment, the server room falls silent. No monitors, no lights, nothing. Then one final message appears. Simple, cold, official. Welcome to Layer 0. Somewhere deep in the system, your old identity finishes deleting. Your bank accounts, your records, your history, gone. Because the world no longer needs the person you used to be. Now you're the one who decides who disappears next. And somewhere out there, someone curious is about to open a file they shouldn't, just like you did. The only question left is this: will you erase them or recruit them? Because now the ghost room belongs to you.